Yes, you can take one that resonates with you from the eye.
Okay, the one that's on this side is how people see you.
I've been yes. For 20 years, but I want everything.
And as you select a sticky note, as you select someone else's response, you are holding someone else's truth. So hold it with caution, with care, and respect. It's sacred.
Yes.
And once you have a sticky note in your hand, go ahead and join us in the
I'm just so
circle.
psyched to be here.
Take one.
Sammy.
Jen. Jen and Cecil. Nice to meet you. Feel free to look steady.
I first moved into our house in Florida.
I was anxiety about coming into Manhattan, but I would take my home, obviously. But you know,
When they're not your
South on Park.
Oh,
It's a nice area over there. It's really nice. I'm just like, I really should. Maybe there's still time. Whatever you want. What if we do groups of three? It's a big church. I'm happy now.
Maybe let's enlarge the circle a bit more to allow for space. Thank you. Thank you. All right, folks, thank you so much. So we all have our responses that resonated with us in our hand. And at this time, we're going to invite you to internalize your sticky note and feel in your body a gesture that comes to mind in relationship to the sticky note that you have. We're just going to go ahead and practice that together. You can do your own gesture in your own personal space. Based on the prompt that you have in your hand. Just a light gesture. It can be anything in your body. It can be a light hand movement. Very nice. All right, and what we're going to do now is we're going to pair you in groups of 3. And then together in your group, you're going to choose one of your gestures to present to the group. So I'm going to just quickly put you into groups of 3. Perfect groups of 3. All right, so together you're going to show each other your gestures. You're going to share and collectively decide on one gesture. That's okay. That sounds great.
We're choosing one.
We gotta pick one.
I kind of like you.
Yeah, I like this one.
Should we try it together?
Yeah.
Absolutely how I feel.
We nailed it.
All right, fantastic.
Cool. Here's the plan.
Good job.
It's just gestures.
Proud and so
Yeah.
I wanna get it back.
Yeah.
How long have you been teaching? Now in theater, 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
9-3.
Here is the thing.
This is your 9.
Here, like just
Let's be really Alice's.
ish. Great. You're gonna move too?
Yeah, should we move around?
No?
Should we move in a circle? Maybe out.
Yeah. Let's go right. Right on 1, 3, 2, 1. To the right.
We gotta lower our center. This is heavy.
Yeah. Oh no. Falling over.
Perfect.
It's a competition.
Once your group has come to a decision, go ahead and rejoin us in the circle. All right, we're going to return to the circle. Thank you so much, everyone. Does any group feel inclined to go first? Any group feel inclined to go first? Amazing. Okay, we're going to start over here, and we're going to travel clockwise. So we're going to stay in the circle, and together each group is going to present their gesture, along with the music. Ready? All right, so whenever you're ready.
1, go.
And we all fell down. All right. One, two, three. All right. 3, 2, 1.
And out. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all of these really beautiful gestures, and collectively we created an incredible performance together, inspired by some of the truths that stand with us in this room, something that we deeply identify with, not something that others think of us in. And
I hope the experience of resonating with someone else's truth, then sharing that physicalized to each other, and then seeing how the physicalization has created a collective performance really shows the ways in which we can also approach the students and invite their truths onto the community. So yeah, can I actually hear a few reflections from how that experience was, from writing your reflections from the prompts of you see and I am to physicalizing into this performance together? Any brave souls? Yeah.
We created a comic tragedy.
Comic tragedy, thank you. Can you tell us a little more about what that means to you?
It was just, I feel like as teachers, we definitely feel connected on days like today. And just to see like the people holding themselves up at the bar and just ready to type and all the things that we have to do, the confusion of everything we have to do. It was really great to see it physicalized. Something therapeutic about it.
Thank you so much. And one more reflection maybe? Yes.
I like that we were staging a gesture based on somebody else's I am, because it takes the pressure off of, you know, having to share too much because you're just sharing some words that somebody else was able to put out there already for you. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And yet it also shows a part of ourselves by the reflection and the resonances. And for those who might have written that truth, that reflection is met in a way, in a physicalized hearing process, right? And so with everyone's, oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh, I just want to say, I think it's really interesting because it shows that our perception of other people can be off. Like what you think you're seeing is not exactly what's inside. Because someone put over there about you see an old hag or whatever, and I thought that was really an honest statement because we're not always what we are, like what we seem from the outside.
And thank you so much for highlighting something that you saw on the UC poster as well. We can definitely resonate in the ways that we are misperceived.
Absolutely.
As much as we are
depending on age or anything physical.
Totally. Thank you so much. So with everyone's consent, is it okay if we agree to hold onto this paper ourselves rather than returning it to the I am poster? Let's go ahead and fold up in a nice caring way and put them in our pockets. Again, in a nice caring way, we're holding each other's truths in our pockets throughout this session.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and introduce you to Pink Fang, the organization that we come from. So we are Pink Fang. We create art at the intersection of performance, community building, social change, rooted in the ethos and artistic legacy of Ping Chong. Has anyone heard Ping Chong before? Ooh, a lot of friends. I love it. Amazing. So we'll take a second to introduce ourselves first, and then we'll tell you a little bit more information about the company. So again, I'm Sabine. My pronouns are she, her. I am a teaching artist. I'm also the current education and engagement coordinator at Pink Fang. I've stage managed for Pink Fang. I've done comms for them, operations, and I keep going back because I just love the community and the ethos that the company brings. And then this is
I'm Taesong. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm the interim education manager and the commissioned artist this year at Pink Fang. With Pink Fang, I've been with for about 9 years now, different roles and hats, including a performer, writing co-writing this curriculum with an incredible team and teaching artists and so on.
amazing. Yeah, so we'll jump into the curriculum in a bit, but just a little bit more information about the company. So we are actually at the end of a transition period that took place over the past 3 years. Our company used to be named Ping Chong and Company, but with Ping's retirement 3 years ago, we decided to go through a structural change and also a name change. And I love the name story of Pink Fang. Pink Fang was actually written on a piece of mail that got delivered to Ping Chong. Somebody had misspelled his name to Ping Fang. And that story of his name being misspelled is so central to a lot of the work that we do of identity, place, and belonging. So it felt perfect to kind of reclaim that name as we go into this transition. So yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? Just a little bit about Ping Chong. So he is a Chinese-American theater director, choreographer, video artist, visual artist, playwright, filmmaker, all of the things. doing a lot of interdisciplinary theater work, integrating different mediums into his practice. He was actually one of the earliest pioneers to integrate media like film into live theater. He's the child of 2 Chinese opera performers and was raised right here in New York City, still lives in Chinatown, thriving in his retirement. And he started out in film as a way to escape his frustrating feelings of otherness, and took a theater class, and it changed his life. Next slide, please. Great. And so from Ping's work, he did a lot of interdisciplinary work, and he also birthed this series called Undesirable Elements, which is an interview-based, community-specific documentary theater series that lifts up the stories of real people, especially those whose stories are misrepresented or not represented at all. So a quick 30-second UE introduction is that Ping will be invited into a marginalized community typically, and works directly with community members to interview them and then weave their stories into a script. And it's really incredible work because Ping would, and all of the company members would work with the storytellers directly so that they themselves can share their stories on stage rather than having someone else tell their story for them. And I think there's one other piece of info on the slide.
And that's how Secret Histories was born. So similarly, the way that Undesirable Elements goes into the community, invite the community members on stage to tell their stories, we adapted that program into Secret Histories K-12 in-school and after-school program, where we go into the classroom and invite the students' stories to come alive on stage. And similarly with a lot of our works, next slide please, our work is at the intersection of identity, place, and belonging. So where we come from, who we're coming from, who we are, and the sense of community that we build together. Next slide, please. So this is where Hidden Voices come in. So Hidden Voices curriculum similarly also deal with identity, place, and belonging. And it is an 8-lesson curriculum with one additional day at the end with a culminating performance. This curriculum is aimed for middle school, but it is adaptable for a wide range between 4th to 12th grade. And there are worksheets and modifications and extensions and other resources linked into the curriculum as well. Next slide, please. So these are the essential questions that we were asking while building this curriculum. What is documentary theater and community engaged theater? Why is it important? What are the theatrical tools to create an engaging performance? How have Fang used documentary theater to shine a light on AAPI stories? How do we create a collective performance based on our own stories and or documentary material? Actually, I would like to take a pause and take this opportunity to say that Asian American Pacific Islanders is both an expansive and a reductive term because it is very much giving a sense of community to many different identities and communities, but also it can be a blanket term to try to hold a wide variety of diversity within. So we were also asking the question of how do we think about both the trauma and also solidarity and the resistance within this community as well. Next slide, please. So the learning objectives of this curriculum is that the students will be working to understand better the Chinese American theater maker Ping Chong and Ping Chong and Company, now Ping Fang, and engage with documentary and community engaged theater practices, and also create their own performance based on such principles. Next slide. Awesome. So onwards to specific chapters within the curriculum.
So just a quick overview of what each of the classes covers. This is also available on the cheat sheet that you got. Like all of the names of each introductory or each class. But just a brief overview. So in lessons 1 and 2, we visit what is documentary theater, community engaged theater, and meet Ping Chong and actually see some of the examples of the many undesirable elements performances that we've done over the years. And moving into lesson 2, we meet other AAPI theater artists. And this is the first opportunity that students actually have to discover their own stories with one of our classic activities called the river story, where one creates a river of their own life and kind of identifies key moments that have formed their own personal narratives. Moving into lessons 3 and 4, we have some scripting strategies, performance skills, exploring things like gesture and tableau and how to translate those personal stories into physical movements and into the body. In lesson 4, this is my favorite part, which is actually dominant narratives versus counter narratives. So kind of evaluating what are the how society portrays communities through a limited stereotype lens and kind of reframing those stories with counter narratives, centering the marginalized person as the storyteller instead. And then we do some peer interviewing as well as a practice of those stories. So they'll do their peer interviews and kind of get to practice being the person interviewed as well as the person who is interviewing and listening as well. And that will culminate into session 5, where students take class time to collaboratively craft a script in short groups, implementing those theatrical tools. And then moving on to the next slide, please. Then we have the second half, which has sessions 6, 7, 8, and 9, where they start to explore research tools as well, such as primary, secondary sources, and researching and analyzing those to better tell fuller and more nuanced narratives. Continuing interviewing practice into session 7, where they begin incorporating first-person narratives into their own script writing. And then starting at session 8, they start to collaborate together and devise a performance within their own community, integrating pieces of AAPI history that we've discovered over the course of the curriculum. And culminating with session 9, where they get to do a dress rehearsal at the top of the day, and then they get to do their performance. And they get to present to each other and give each other feedback. Culminating with the goal of analyzing and reflecting on the potential of theater making for fostering community solidarity and resistance.
So these are the theatrical tools that the students will learn throughout the curriculum: documentary theater, call and response, interdisciplinary works, unison, repetition, you name it. I want to also highlight a couple more things about the curriculum before we move on to get a little taster activity, one of the examples from the curriculum. One is that the curriculum was built to be sequential, but I do think you can take a couple sessions out and adapt to your needs if you would like to. Secondly, as mentioned, we have built a theater curriculum, but within it we get to learn AAPI history and identity within it. And so it might be a really good opportunity to collaborate with a social studies teacher or history teacher so that you can also adapt in that way. And third, but not the least important, we actually have one of the co-writers in the room. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Christina, who's sitting with us. All right, so we're going to get a teaser activity and get a taste of what one of the activities within the curriculum might be. Before we move on, can I count up to 9 as we're seated? So 1 through 9. So can we start with 1, please? Can you say 1? 1.
7.
Awesome. Can we get into groups that you have named yourselves in the number from 1 to 9 around the space, please? And Sabine will distribute pieces of paper that you will be engaging with in a little bit.
8. 1. Where am I 8?
I'm 6.
What's up, 8?
We can do this. Let's see who else we got. I know there's somebody sitting over there. I think it's that guy with the blue.
8.
Oops, 6. Number 6.
6. We did it. Whoop.
6.
6 is over here.
6 is over there. Right, of course. Thank you.
7.
And 9. Yes.
That's really good. We have got Awesome. So in your groups, what we're gonna do is learn a bit about this history that is in your hand. Again, this is such a reductive summary of the width and breadth and depth of the history, but a moment to just acknowledge and get to know a little bit about this part of the history. So go ahead and read and discuss. And once you are done with about 3 minutes of discussion, we're going to ask that we crystallize our reflection in a couple words within the group, okay? Go ahead and take 3 minutes.
Wait, what is the
Happy Election Day.
Yeah, right? What are we supposed to do once we've read it? Just talk about it? Okay.
Yeah,
I know, that's what I was thinking too. I was like,
Interesting. I missed that. What was your master's degree in?
Theater education.
Oh, where'd you study?
Adult science.
I know you Steinhardt to not give us those.
same time. Curriculum is not diverse, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. It's baby steps. Very interesting.
You're amazing. How many years have you tidied over this stuff? It's always just when it's done.
I didn't know it was
The 14th Amendment. Want Asians to be a part of the gold rush as well.
That's scary.
I wonder if it was more like but that's pre-gold rush.
Right. Well, there was already rampant nativism in society. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I feel like there was, like, at LSI level, like, they tried to turn people away, like, post, say, the Irish famine. So, but I think it was really lost.
She's also, she's not 50%. So that is it's hard being Latin because I understand. I bring it up. I put it out there.
Yeah.
I say, I put it out there as like, so, when we're doing social emotional and theater, we can combine, injustices and we try to touch on it, but I'm not. I'm very careful. I don't objectification.
Yeah, definitely object. Definitely.
I mean, I think it's also important for us to emphasize the word Oriental.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, because as the reference to objects and humans.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I was unaware of.
Right.
Immigrant groups were not considered white until a certain time period.
Well, because then you get the good character. I think is where we get the model minority from.
Right.
Which, because then it's like, oh, but why can't you be like them? Even though we still don't give them right. It's
Yeah.
to get the stuff.
Yeah. That's interesting. The idea of like white for
Still
convenience
around.
sake.
Right.
Yeah, that it's like in certain contexts we're gonna let you be white.
certain thing, and then certain things like, you have good character in these ways, and we want people to emulate you, but we're not going to count that towards your citizenship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to pick.
What are some words that are coming up from having discussed this?
You mean words from this, or just
Having learned this, having discussed this. Yeah,
Definitely like perpetual foreigner is like I think the standout word from this.
Yeah, the professional foreigner, and then the good character.
Yeah, good character.
And also sort of, to me, it's about like institutionalizing your otherness or like
So there is sort of a connection to that.
I was like, that word sounds familiar.
Oriental Training Company. So this today,
Right? They have a lot of decorative prompts.
Yeah.
like party supplies.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I just never purchased anything from it.
And what are some words that are coming up now that we've learned and discussed this part of history?
We came up with prop, objectification, and then we were debating also that the word Oriental is important to this experience.
He's telling me my history that I didn't learn. He was like, we didn't learn it.
Yeah.
Well, no, they just
Religious.
And how's your discussion?
Sorry, I disagree because I didn't learn any of
Yeah.
these. Any of these.
Yeah.
I'm talking about French history.
I'm
comparing it to learning.
You're talking about history and how
Yeah, because it's like inexpensive.
Something like that.
you're saying maybe one sentence in history. And I knew
We said many times history repeating. Is that short enough?
Yeah. History repeating. Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to rejoin us.
Or just 1942.
Yeah, and integrating
Yeah, can we get back into a big circle, everybody? Let's go ahead and rejoin the circle, everyone. Let's go ahead and circle back up, everyone. So, how were your conversations? Yeah? I got to hear from some of the groups, and I can't wait to hear more of your reflection based on the one or two words that you would like to share from your group. I just want to also frame that hopefully this activity has given you a sense of how by this time, which is around session 6 of this curriculum, the students would have had some access to the AAPI history, learn that documentary theater and community engaged theater can be an antidote to the scarcity of such history's publicity in this country. And so we are going to go ahead and create a performance yet again. So if you haven't already, quickly check in with your group, one or two words that you're going to share within the group. Some of these can be said in unison if you have only one. If there are multiple, you're welcome to choose who says which words. And we're going to string together in the way that we have shared the gestures with a rhythm in between. Go ahead, check in with your group.
No, I wasn't doing that as a group.
Oh.
But doing gestures.
Wait, where do you teach? You don't say, wait, what grade? Your ninth graders don't say 6, 7? That's why. No, yeah, the upper class.
So here we go. Let's try.
Do you want to say legacy together and then you could do of ostracization?
Oh, you're adding another syllable.
Because legacy is an interesting word.
Yeah, and of is
You take the of. I'm so proud. And then it's like,
of is
it would be like, you'd have and you'd be like lying on the escalator, like, where am I going? Yep.
actually didn't know that. There's Southeast Asian Oh, yeah. Anytime for likely to be rewarded on the basis of their goal. Yes, we're ready.
Yes, absolutely. You can hyphenate it.
Three words.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All right. And do we have a word?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Character.
Do we have a word?
There
19. Awesome. 19.
Anytime you don't know, just when in doubt. For real. Every she went by show. Every time I run every theater space I'm in, there's something. I don't know, man.
And I don't teach anything.
All right, let's head back into our big circle. And this is a moment when we would usually ask a student to please offer a rhythm or gesture that would go in between these words. But for the sake of time today, can we all practice this gesture? Beautiful. And really think of it as a heartbeat. And 1, 2, 3. That was beautiful. So this is going to happen in between the sharings of the group. And similarly, we're going to go in a circle and sandwich them with this heartbeat. Does that make sense to everybody? Cool. Do we have a brave volunteer? Awesome. I saw this hand first. And is it okay? Would it be okay if we go in this direction? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so sorry. Let's start with a heartbeat, and after the heartbeat, you will go, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Perpetual. Foreigner.
Good.
Character.
Institutionalized.
Othering.
Prop.
Oriental. Yellow peril. Shh. Nationalism. Propaganda. Scapegoat. Birthright citizenship.
American history.
Bias.
Scapegoat.
Unite and forge.
Unjust.
Legacy of.
Ostracization.
1942. 2025.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Wow, it was such a joy and pleasure to be in this room together and just look at this performance we made together. Let's just actually give a round of applause to everybody. Thank you so much. I am honestly feeling the chills of that deep reflection that you had, the connection through history that you had, and the connection through the community that we built together here today. And I'm going to pass it over to Sabine for the last few moments that we have left to reflect on how the activities were today.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes left, but also want to echo how incredible that was. There was already so much natural, like theater making that was happening, repetition and rhythm and collective tone, and it was really beautiful. So congratulations on an amazing performance in the limited time that we had. Any reflections? How did any of these activities feel for you? We want to invite you to share any feedback that you may have.
I love this type of theater. I think it's really cool. I just, in this climate that we're in right now, it's just, are there a lot of challenges that you face where you have to tell students, well, we can't talk about that, and we can't talk about that. So I think that would be the biggest challenge for me. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to talk about this. Sorry?
I was just wondering, like, what could you not talk about?
Would you like to respond to that?
That's not, I'm not saying that.
No, I'm just
saying that I feel
throwing
like
it out
society is saying that right now, right? Unfortunately. But I agree with you. As an educator, it's hard because I don't know, you brought up an excellent point. I don't want to put you on the spot, but she was saying that. Oh no, I agree with you. I think it's good you asked that. I'm just saying she brought up an excellent point where
I have it come from the kids so that I'm not, if it's, and this is what this work is doing, is that the kids are bringing it up If it's from the kids, and I think the important thing as a teacher is also, no matter what we think, we got to take ourselves out of the equation. Even though we have very strong feelings about it, we got to take ourselves out of the equations because it has to become from the kids and from the reality. And then there's no contesting that you can't talk about it. It did not come from you. It came from the kids. You're just giving them the space.
That's the answer.
Yeah, in this climate of control of information and silencing, I do think this could be a moment in which stories can come from the students, and that inviting environment that we can provide to the students being an antidote. Christina, did you have a?
That was pretty much just what I wanted to toss in. Is that's the intention and the purpose of this work, and it's the root of what Ping Chong and Company, now Ping Fang, was doing, is to have communities be telling their own stories and not telling anybody what to say on stage or how to be represented, but to self-represent. So that's what we were trying to do with this curriculum.
Awesome. So yes.
It's so handy and practical, like even for elementary school students. You just use simple word, a simple gesture, and 2 heartbeats, and then you are talking about something which is very deep. So it's very hands-on. Yeah, thank you for the good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that question. All right, unfortunately we're at time, but can we breathe in again and breathe out the word respect together? So 1, 2, 3. And out. Respect. Thank you so much. Thank you.